Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Melanin Margin, the weekly chat show where conversations about race are never off the table. We're your hosts, Quaviondre Williams.
And Daquon Wilson.
So let's get into this week's conversation. What's hot on the table this week? In an article written on Yahoo News by Kaylee Werner, we learned that a woman has revealed that she found herself asking for a divorce just one day after she and her husband tied the knot. According to the bride, she had made it clear that one matter wasn't up for debate in regards to their wedding. She said, quote, "My only hard and fast rule was that he would not rub cake in my face at the reception. Being a reasonable man who knows me well, he didn't. Instead, he grabbed me by the back of my head and shoved my head down into it." In the column, she added that she assumed her groom had strategically thought of smashing her face in the cake ahead of time because after the cake was ruined, he had prepared backup cupcakes. She said, quote, "I left. Next day, I told him that we were done, and I'm standing by that," end quote. However, she said that not everyone agreed with her decision and that her friends and family had encouraged her to give him a second chance. She said, quote, "I am very claustrophobic after a car accident years ago, and I absolutely panicked at being shoved into a cake and held there. Everyone is so united and confident in their assurance that I am making a terrible mistake that I wonder if maybe they're right," end quote. Even if there wasn't a traumatic reason behind why she didn't want a cake smash in her face, Daquon, do you think it's a major red flag for her partner to intentionally cross her boundaries, or was it just a harmless joke, as everyone loves to say?
Honestly, there are no words, but I'll make up some words because
I'll open up a dictionary.
This situation right here has me heated. Because first off, like as somebody that does makeup, it takes so much time to get somebody prepared for their wedding. Not only that, but it also costs so much money.
Yep.
So you're telling me I spent all this time, I spent all this money, I did all of this to get zhuzhed up, and you're going to ruin it because you think it's funny.
Yeah.
Even after I said not to do. Listen, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't even wait till the next day. It would be over then and there. I would tell you right there in the moment because it's a huge red flag. Because even if this is some small little innocent thing people believe, it shows that this woman's boundaries were not respected. And if you are going to cross the boundaries on the wedding day, on something that is supposed to be special and magic and one of your, best days ever, if you're going to cross boundaries now, imagine what's going to happen in the future. Because that shows me that you don't respect my boundaries. That to you, if you think it's funny, if you think it's cool and raw, all right, you'll do it and maybe beg for forgiveness later. And it's not true. I think that I see it so often that people do this, and I'm like, every single time, I'm like, girl, leave him. This is only a sign that things could get very, very worse.
I agree. The more I see of some marriages, the more I think, hey, maybe being single isn't so bad.
Maybe I don't need somebody else.
Honestly, because like this shit right here is completely terrifying in so many ways. I mean, everyone loves to scream out, "It's a joke, laugh a little, it's not that serious." But I do not agree. Like a lighthearted joke or prank with your partner is only funny when both of you are genuinely laughing. And in many, if not almost all of the cake smashing videos that have been circulating around the internet, the only person in that situation that's laughing has always been the groom. But back to the question. Yes, this is a 100% a major red flag. This wasn't just like a spur of the moment idea. This was premeditated, thought out, and executed with the express desire to embarrass and cause this woman distress. And for those of you who might say, it's just a cake, it's not like it'll kill her. Let's bring things into perspective a little. Let's say that you and your partner went to a party that had a pool in the backyard, and your partner knew that not only could you not swim, but you had a traumatic experience in your childhood where you almost drowned, so you're definitely afraid of the water. Then, when you get to the party, your partner scoops you up out of the chair, throws you in the pool, and makes sure everyone has their phones out to record you nearly drowning while he laughs and says, "It was just a joke." That wouldn't be too funny now, would it? And considering the trauma that this woman has been through, that's a pretty close equivalent to what her partner just did to her. Now, there is no telling how the cake smashing could have triggered her trauma responses. I mean, she could have had a panic attack, a depression spiral, flashbacks, etc. The fact that he purposefully put his soon-to-be wife in a situation that he knew would cause her immense distress is very revealing of his true feelings to her. He either does not want to marry her, but also doesn't want to lose her because she takes care of him, which is why he's throwing an adult, temper tantrum. Or this is some form of, abuse inoculation that some people, mostly men, use as a way to gauge how far they can push their partner's boundaries before they go too far. Or it could be both. But I really want to focus on that second part because I think that a lot of people don't really understand that a boundary is only as strong as the one who enforces it, and is only important to yourself and to the people who love and respect you. If someone intentionally crosses a boundary you've established, like the man in this story, that person does not love or respect you. You need to run like your life depends on it, because bitch, it fucking does in many different ways. Because too many men will try to wear down a woman's boundaries, self-esteem, and confidence, either because they, just don't like them, or they want to bring them to a tolerable level of permanent unhappiness, a phrase coined by a Reddit user that I'd come to hear on TikTok by a user named at Shar Henley _. But Daquon, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about her friends and family's response to this issue? And by the way, I wasn't calling her a bitch. I was saying bitch in the regular sense.
Right. But in terms of friends and family, I think they're trash. Like,
oh, Daquon!
Daquon!
Not Basuda. Not
Basuda. But like, how dare you? Like, you are my friend. You are my family. Yeah. And you're defending him?
Yeah.
No. I do think that, like, sure, your friends and family should be able to calm you down, help you think rationally, X, Y, and Z. But in a situation like this, it is clear that this person, this man, does not respect boundaries. And if you don't respect my boundaries, you don't respect me. And I'm not going to have that in a relationship. I also think that, in a sense, the friends and family aren't respecting this bride's boundaries, because they are saying that, oh, it's something small. You should just forgive this and get over it, and you're making a mistake. But in reality, there is nothing worse than having your trust betrayed by somebody who you think loves you and is going to be that one for you forever. That is truly a heartbreaking situation. And I think it's a sad reality, because we see this so often on social media that a lot of times people are in a marriage for themselves, for their benefits. Like, we see these cake smashing videos. We see gender reveal parties where husbands are having full tantrums because the baby is a girl and not a boy.
Yeah.
Or we have more gender reveal parties where when the gender is revealed to be a boy, the father goes with the friends first.
Oh yeah, I see that video. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Of the child, and it's like,
yeah. Push her out the way fully.
right.
Yeah.
It's like the disrespect is palpable and honestly disgusting. So I know I personally would never want to be disrespected in that way. And I know that my good friends would realize that. So I think that this is
Yeah.
a time when you really got to talk to your friends and family and be like, I hear what you're saying. However, no, this was my one hard and fast rule. This was a boundary I set, and he went out of his way
Far
to
out.
cross
Yeah.
that line.
Yeah, and I really want to go back to what you said just now about the most heartbreaking thing is having your trust broken by someone you love and care about. Oh, bitch, you hit me, bitch. I almost cried. Hold on, bitch, you hit me in the heart. That was in the heart right there. But yeah, it's very disheartening if you ask me. I'd expect this kind of response from his side of the family. But the fact that her own family and friends are telling her that she made a mistake because she's ready to leave a man who intentionally did something to hurt her is both sad and also not that surprising, honestly. Bitch, boa constrictors ain't got shit on the death gripping chokehold that patriarchy has on our society. The fact that her friends and family are trying to convince her to go back to him while also trying to make her believe that she's blowing this out of proportion only proves that they have already tied her value as a woman to her being married. They're hoping that she'll buy into this idea that being unhappy and married is somehow a much better reality than being happy and single. Patriarchy, has brainwashed many of us into believing that if we don't have a partner or a family, then we aren't contributing to society or that something is wrong with us. It makes us terrified of being alone or it makes us so terrified of being alone that we would rather be in a relationship with someone that we don't like or love just to say we have someone. Now, while patriarchy benefits men the most, obviously, it hurts the collective totally. It has taught men that things like cooking, cleaning, and child rearing are supposedly quote unquote women's work. And so many men will date and even marry women that they don't like or love because they know that these women will do all the things that they feel like men aren't supposed to do. So these men will often get with a good woman only to spend their life and that woman's life miserable together because, hey, at least they're married. But let me tell you something. I may be nervous that I may never get the chance to know what it's like to be in a romantic relationship. But I'm fucking terrified of spending my life with someone who doesn't truly love me. Now, do I think that the family and friends of the woman in this post are bad people? I have no idea because we don't know them. Maybe they truly think that they are helping her because they are just too far gone in the sauce of patriarchy. But in this case, just in case someone is listening who is in a situation where people are trying to discourage them from a decision that they know in their heart of hearts is the right one for them, I offer this piece of advice that I just heard recently from Viola Davis. And she said it was from a Glenn and Doyle's Untamed. And it goes, when it comes down to disappointing other people or disappointing yourself, choose other people all the time. And Viola Davis added to it saying that, in fact, it's your job in life to disappoint as many people as you can so that you do not disappoint yourself. The only person who has to live with the decision that you make for your life is not your parents, not your friends, not even your partner. It's you. It's your job to make sure that you are taking care of your happiness, because if you don't, nobody else will. How do you feel about that quote, Daquon? Because, bitch, that shit gathered me when I heard it.
Now, that hits. That hits. And it's so true. Even if we think about this situation, like
Yeah.
you can never get that moment back. You
Mm-hmm.
can never go back in time and recover that moment. You can never get rid of the embarrassment that you felt during that time. And honestly, it could be possible that you are never able to trust that person again.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what you can do? Find another person. There are
Mm-hmm.
so many other people out there,
Mm-hmm.
but there's only one time that you're going to have a specific moment. Yes, you could have another wedding, but it will never
Yeah.
be the same as that first wedding. And so I think that that's something that people also, that the friends and family also aren't clicking with, is that that's a moment that this woman is never going to be able to get again. Once you've passed the
Mm-hmm.
moment, it's gone. You can't go
Yeah.
back in time. It's just not possible. So, if I am moving forward from a situation, I can find another man. I can find happiness
Period.
in myself.
Yes.
I can
Uh-huh.
find a life where I fulfill the needs, and I can find people that are going to respect and
Yeah.
love me and my boundaries. But you're focused on thinking about, oh, this is what's going to be most comforting. Just go back to him. It'll be fine. And all this.
Yeah.
No. And I just love that quote because
Right?
really, just like it hit me like you
Girl.
spend your life disappointing others so you never disappoint
Disappoint
yourself.
yourself. Mm-hmm.
It's it's honestly so true because let's be real. When our time comes to an end, the only person that's going to be with us during that time is ourself. The
Mm-hmm.
only person that's with us every step of our life is ourself. And I know that some people are going to be like, well, you can't be selfish. It's not selfish to love yourself. It is not selfish to respect
Mm-hmm.
yourself. It is not selfish to do what you know is best for you.
And I think also it's really sad how I've seen and heard so many people, be in marriages and you hear how they talk about their partner. You're like, oh, yeah, I've been married for 20 years. And they're kind of like, yeah, that's my man, or yeah, that's my wife, or da 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 da. And it always seems like it's just, oh God, this person just waiting for them to die kind of shit, or something like that. And it's just kind of like, what are you getting from that? Like, I mean, yes, y'all been married for 30, 40 years, but he's been cheating on you for, 39 of them. You know what I mean? But it's like, I just feel like it's really sad how we have kind of created a society where being unhappy and coupled is considered an achievement to some degree. Like the idea, and no one's saying that there's not going to be hard times in a relationship. No one's saying that you're not going to go through rough patches and stuff like that. But if the way that you look at your partner is if you look at your partner as if they are a burden or as if you just don't want to be with them, then why are you still with them? Then why are you still in this relationship? Or especially when we see these people who get into these relationships or get married, or they try to force someone to marry them by saying, if you don't, I'm going to leave, you don't marry me, da da da, X, Y, and Z. If they wanted to, they would. If you've been with a partner and y'all have talked about being married and y'all wanted to be married and X, Y, and Z, and they are like not making any moves to do so, or y'all, and it's never been something they're bringing up to, and y'all been together for 5, 10, whatever many years, and they have never actually approached the idea of marrying you, or that they've been just kind of stringing you along this whole time. Recognize that they wanted to, they would. And the fact that they haven't lets you know just how they feel about you. Because a man who truly wants to marry you, or a person who truly wants to be with you, will not let anything stand in your way. I think I heard this quote from somebody. I think her name is Shauna on TikTok. But she was like, if a person truly does love you, they will do everything in their power to make you happy and to do what makes you happy.
Mm.
And so if that person is not doing that, baby, that's not love. Because if y'all are both working to make each other happier than y'all already are, that's a relationship right there. But if only one partner is focused on making another partner happy and the other partner isn't, then it's not really love. You're just
It's
using
not a
that
relationship.
person. It's not a period, bitch.
It's a transaction.
It's eight.
And that's on period.